Well, welcome back, blade lovers. OG Blade Reviews is with you again. Thanks for coming. And by the way, if you haven't subscribed, at the end of this video, there will be an icon you can click on and subscribe to the channel. And also you can turn on that notification bell so you know when new videos drop. I am honored and privileged here to get a hold of my very first one of these from White Mountain Knives, and I thank Justin up there in New Hampshire at White Mountain Knives. Yes, in bold letters on the side of the box, Vero Engineering. That's Joeseph Vero, I believe, yes. A mechanical engineer that started his company in 2018 or thereabouts. Interesting, never ran into one of these before with the plastic sleeve, kind of a see-through smoke gray plastic sleeve in a box that has silica gel. And got no room left to put things off to the side. And a nice zippered pouch. And inside, likely OEM'd from Reate, although could be Bestech. They use both at Vero Engineering, but the designs are special and they come from the great design mind of Joeseph Vero. If I can get this out. You do get a microfiber cloth. You don't get any extra hardware, and that's about it besides the plastic pouch. Here we have not the Impulse. Could this be an impulse buy? Is a funny joke, I think, maybe not. Vero Engineering Impulse Thin. This is a slimmer version than the original Impulse. Now, before I open it, I just want to say, in the past, I want to thank Bob DeMarco for sending me a Vero Synapse, I think, for review. It was a smaller knife. If I'm going to get a knife that's fancy titanium and rich materials, I'm going to go with a larger knife if I can get it. And this is a larger knife, being over 3.5 inches in blade length. And hey, I might need to keep this guy because look, yeah, 3 4s, 444. Play that number. As you can see, before we open it again, sorry for, holding off. There is his Vero Engineering logo on a really interesting clip. And all of his clips are the same on his knives, no matter what style you get, I'm pretty sure. And they just started coming out with fixed blade knives as well. Okay, we'll open it with the back flipper. Now this also comes in a Tanto. A lot of you are going to scream and shout that I should have got the Tanto version. Wasn't available. And I do find that this drop point, if we want to call it that, with the forward belly is a bit more useful for EDC chores. And this is a large EDC sort of a knife or a showpiece. It's a Framelock. The steel is M390. Is that on there anywhere? It's on there somewhere, but it is M390, even if we can't find it today. Sometimes you got to close them up. It's M390. This is what the box says. We also have a really well done middle finger fuller flipper that's got actually, unlike many knives that try to do this, it actually has a sharp edge there, but not so sharp that you're going to cut your finger. They did a remarkable job on milling that out. And also on bead blasting the inside of it, while we have belt satin on the main grind of the blade. And we also have a bead blast up here on the switch. I'm thinking This is Reate rather than Bestech. Not that Bestech doesn't make some fantastic knives, but this has all the hallmarks with these sharp grinds of Reate. And when I do my compares, I'll show you why in a moment. First off, drop some things. All I got to do is reach off to the side and I hit something. That's me. First off, is it sharp? And I knew this was going to be sharp. Because, again, I think it's a Reate. And Reate just comes through with some excellent edges. So we've got a full titanium bead blast frame, Framelock hardened steel insert, all the usual, titanium backspacer, a little bit chamfered on the edges there. And I love the way the back flipper works. There's only one other knife, and I should have brought it out for compare. It was a Kaiser made by Arsino. What does he call himself? Anyway, something or other blades. And I'm sorry if I forgot the man's name or the company's name. Okay, I'll think of it maybe before we're done. 2 body screws, but what I was getting at is this really interestingly designed back flipper that's actually, you have to reach around front, and it is nicely jimped. Oop, fell out of frame. Nicely jimped right there. Let's back out so I don't do that again. Just perfect. Perfect. Action is perfect. Is it drop shut? Kind of pneumatically drop shut. It probably will improve with use. Just beautiful the way that works. And if you want a middle finger flick it, you can do that all day long. I'm going to now pull out the ruler and get some measurements on this guy. So, overall length of the Impulse Thin with a drop point blade is 8.6 inches, and technically, according to their specs, it's 365. I'll go along with that. 3.65 inch blade. If we go to a metric, we're talking 22 centimeters overall, and we're talking about 9.3 centimeter blade length, 93 millimeters. Close enough. Getting some other measurements on it in inches. Let's go to the blade. Blade stock in inches, 0.14 inches, 0.54 inches handle thickness, millimeters, 3.4 millimeter blade stock, and a handle right about there of 14 millimeters. Finally, we're going to get the weight. And firing up the scale, rolling around to grams first. We've got 147.58 grams, 148 if you round it up. Ounces, 5.2 ounces. So it is just a hair over that 5 ounce mark, if that's important to you. The clip, I put it in my pocket, carried it a bit, works extremely well, and yet it's smooth because of the smooth handle surface and the smooth underside of the clip, but at the same time, it's got really excellent retention. Because it's a milled titanium clip and it's formed to fit only the right side of the knife, it's for right hand users only, and it attaches from underneath. I have not broken this knife down to verify that, but it's easy to see that there's no screw there and that we have no way to attach it, no milled out portion on the left side of the knife. And there you can see where its clip is milled into the handle frame. So one side only, guys. Just a clean, beautiful knife, the way that Joe Vero designed this. It's just really nice. And if you follow Vero knives or have Vero knives, you know what I mean, because I've only seen one and only had one in hand before, as I said, the Synapse that was on loan from Bob. And I've got that review out there somewhere from a couple of years ago at least. Now, I've got some real interesting compares today because I have a Reate. This is the Tiger. And I just wanted to show you, first of all, it's about the same length. It's a little bit longer, a little larger. This is a beautiful knife where they did the longitudinal mill lines on there. I mean, and all the fancy, look at that back spacer. Good Lord. It almost looks as though, and I don't think it does, but it almost looks as though it's got a tool at the end there. If you know different, let me know. I know some of the Reates, as well as some other knives, Reich, have ways that they come apart where the backspacer becomes a tool. We've got a kind of semi-hidden lanyard slot there. Got this interesting millwork or jimping along the edges and these scallops on the backspacer. But what I really wanted to show you was, look at the sharp, crisp grind lines. Very much the same. Not saying Best Tech doesn't do this, but you see it shown off more, I think, with Reate. And here's another one that, as far as they know, absolutely is OEM from Reate. Here is the Arcane Abyss in M390, a design by Israel Bacchus. And if you're familiar with his knives, once again, crisp, 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 kind of a Tanto buoy, if you want to allow me that. And just look at the differentiation there between the hollow and the flat grind on that. We've got just a straight out flat grind on the Impulse. But again, you see those grind lines. I'm not saying, everybody doesn't have belt satin, but I think Reate just seems to do it in a special way that makes you know that it's from them. We're going to continue here. I have something made by We. Just because it's an all titanium knife, it's in 20 CV, and it is an Alessandra De Santis design by We called the Hecate. Hecate. It's a large knife, probably going to be the biggest one on the table here. Yep, pretty sure. Really deep stonewash on this design here. She goes with these ancient design motifs. I think that's really cool. Here, obviously, we don't have belt satin. We've got stonewash on the blade, stonewash on the handle. This has been discontinued. It's kind of too bad because this was an excellent, excellent knife. Framelock, titanium, 20 CV, and a separate and very pronounced glass breaker on the pommel. See if I can keep everything on the page here. Well, recently, O-Knife sent me this. They had a Kickstarter drop, and this is the Ion, A-I-O-N, designed by Joeseph Vero in Nitro V, and they're using an OAL aluminum, which is supposed to be a much harder, more robust aluminum handle. As far as I know, this is going to be offered in 3 different versions. This is the lower end version, and then they're going to offer it in a Damascus for about $450, and they're going to offer it in M390 with a titanium handle. And I thank O-Knife again for sending this my way. Reason I bring it out is it's a fairly slim knife. Now this is slim, but we noticed that the dimension is just a bit over a ½ inch on that handle. I don't write down the measurements. Yeah, 0.53. So, you know, some might not call it slim. This being slimmer, as you can see, out of aluminum, but this being probably a ½ inch, exactly ½ an inch. All right, so 0.03 more. And definitely a heavier knife than the O knife. Check into these for about, I think, I have a discount code. I'm not sure if it's still on the review that I did on this, but check it out. You can get these for about 65 bucks, I think, and it's an excellent, excellent knife. Recently, there was another knife reviewer that said he tested the HRC on this knife and it wasn't what they claimed. Then I heard back from O Knife and they said they didn't feel that the equipment used and the method used to test that hardness was correct. And it's actually within the range that they gave, which is, I don't know, 59 to 61, 59 to 60. I'm not sure, can't remember. But I'm not saying who's right in that discussion, but don't believe everything you hear on first blush, okay? Even people that appear to go through lots of testing and so on and so forth, get a couple different sources. You know, it's like any information. Finally, so I get off my soapbox there. Here is a knife that is from the budget line of, and if I can open it, there we go. Front flippers I don't really care for. But I got this anyway. It's very light, very thin. It's an Echo Knives. It is by Custom Knife Factory. And I picked this up from NC Blade. They had them on a special deal for under 100 bucks. And it's S35 VN, very thin, as you can see in the handle. How about 0.38? That's the slimmest of the bunch here. Considerably thinner than the O knife even. Very light as well. Has steel liners on one side partially. It's a liner locking knife. Nice drop shut action. Interesting EDCer. S35 VN. Good deal on that steel as well. Well, there you have today's knife, the Vero Impulse Thin, that came from White Mountain Knives, and I'll make sure you got the link to White Mountain Knives. As far as the rest of these go, if you look them up on the channel, you'll see the reviews, in case you want to know anything more about them. Anything else I can help you out with, put it in the comments. I do my best to get back to you and answer questions and respond. There's my logo over there right now. Click on that if you haven't subscribed. Could use a few more subscribers. Come on, guys. Don't watch without subscribing. Help the poor guy out, will you? All right. Well, you be well. Take care. Stay safe.